Sorella, Lady of the House of Martok, has requested that you meet her at the house estate in the Ketha lowlands. She did not explain why she wanted to see you, but I expect that she has some tasks she would like completed. The House of Martok has lost much prestige since I took the Chancellor's seat. But they still have many allies among the KDF, and I am loath to reject Sorella's request without a good reason. Gaining the favor of the House of Martok could serve you well, but remember, they have many enemies. I harbor no ill towards Sorella, but do not get caught up in her vengeance against me. It would not be in your best interest. Serve the Empire well.
Welcome. Greetings, Kemtar. It pleases me that you have both come to my home. The House of Martok has many enemies. We have called for vengeance against the House of Jempok and all of its allies for the death of my husband. And many smaller houses seek to curry favor with Jempok or the House of Duras by striking at us. Until now, most of these attacks have been little more than a nuisance. When we received word from Kemtar that one of the houses may be plotting to assassinate Worf, it confirmed my suspicions that there is a greater threat emerging. I now believe that my grandson Maven may also be a target. These assassins threaten to destabilize our position on the High Council. Whoever has ordered such a dishonorable act, or who would be cowardly enough to carry it out, must be stopped. Given your current investigation, I ask that you find the assassin and remove the threat before they attempt to strike.
Yes, we value your concerns and we will proceed with caution in our investigation. It is refreshing and a testimony to the dignity of House Martok that you're willing to speak out and recognize this looming threat. May I ask where your grandson Maven is now?
He is on his way to the Batleth tournament on Forcas 3 with your father. Worf assured me that he would handle security matters during the trip. But that was before you reported your findings to me. Before you go, I have another concern.
Why would a Romulan come anywhere near these farms?
The
The only thing I've paid attention to of late has been the lack of rain. But you're a warrior, not a farmer. You wouldn't be interested in that. Sorry I couldn't help you. Targs have been busy tearing up my roots. But other than that, I haven't seen anything unusual.
I remember seeing the Romulan. He said he was a surveyor hired to architect a new irrigation system. He set up equipment on the hill over there, but I haven't seen him lately. It wouldn't surprise me if he's up to no good. You can never trust a Romulan.
Sorella would have known if a Romulan surveyor was on her property. Stay alert.
Yes, I remember this man. It's not every day you see a Romulan in the Ketha lowlands. He didn't say he was a surveyor, though. He told me that he was a part of a diplomatic delegation studying our agriculture. Martok would have never let a Romulan set foot on our world. That's why I don't think much of Jimpak. He's too soft. The oddest thing I remember, other than him being a Romulan, was that he personally scheduled the delivery of goods to the farm. That is against our security procedures. Lady Sorella insists on authorizing all deliveries to the manor. However, his codes were valid, and he had Lady Sorella's signature, so I did as he asked. His delivery arrived today. It is a large package.
Now he's a diplomat? I don't buy it. We're dealing with a Tal Shiar spy.
I processed that delivery. It was an order for the House of Martok. They needed explosives for digging out a new irrigation system. The order was placed by Lady Sorella with her signature and authorization codes. She must need the new irrigation channel badly. Normally, Sorella delayed...
There he is! Stop him!
The House of Martok will crumble, and with it, the rest of the Klingon Empire. You can...
Lady Sorella's suspicions were... I've attempted to contact him, but with the Batleth tournament underway, he is not responding. It is unclear if he is unavailable.
You are becoming an annoyance. You have made yourself a target by defending the House of Martok. By following me here, you've given me no choice but to destroy you.
You cannot stop what is already set in motion. The Klingon Empire will fall.
destroyed his ship, but... We do not want to draw large amounts of attention, but remember that protecting Mavin is our highest priority. Let no one stand in our way. Romulan infiltrators will have a hard time navigating an arena full of Klingons. I recommend we start by asking in the bar to see if anyone has seen or heard anything unusual.
Did you see Jim Puck when he was young and still fighting in the tournaments? Oh, now that was something to behold. He was masterful and fluent, not like the young tards here these days. I'm surprised that some of them can hold on to their battlets for the entire match. Ah!
Wonderful! Another stout warrior eager to hear a story of my glory days in battle. Pull up a chair and I'll allow you the honor of buying me a bloodline.
Have you seen the fighter for the House of Duras? He looks like a real contender for champion standing. I'll bet you a barrel of blood wine that he wins without taking a single wound.
General Chang fought the Master Corps, both in their prime fighting condition. Who do you think would take champion standing?
And what do you think of the new rule restricting botnet links to between 110 and 120 centimeters?
Do you really think a Romulan would be foolish enough to beam down to an arena filled with hundreds of Klingon warriors? Besides, ever since that one tournament where the champion of the House of Mokai used a transporter to steal his opponent's bat'leth in the middle of a fight, there are transport inhibitors in place. The only places they can operate are the transport pads and cargo storage.
Hearing the chanting and sounds of bat'leths reminds me of the first time I celebrated the Kotbatval festival. That was the first time I remember understanding what it means to be a Klingon warrior. Tal Shiar agent was attempting to erase the security logs in the cargo area. He also sealed the doors with a security lockout. It would take too much time to override this work. Our best chance of getting into the storage area would be to disrupt the power flow to the cargo bay doors. Chasing these assassins reminds me of when I met Kimtar. No, Kimtar was the name of a warrior who saved my father from assassins on Maranga 4. The control system reports that the outer door to the cargo bay has been unlocked, but the inner door remains sealed shut. We'll need to blast that door, get inside, and stop this miserable Tuba. I am Alexander, son of Worf and Kalar, a member of the House of Martok. There's Maven. He's pinned down by the assassins.
Maven! No!
This was an honorable...
What is the meaning of this, Alexander? Maven was sent here to replace his equipment, and yet I find you here, surrounded by Romulans with the grandson of Martok dead at your feet. Explain yourself.
Lady Sorella feared that you alone would not be able to keep her grandson safe. We followed these Romulans here, and would have stopped them had these halls not been filled with Klingon traitors. And where were you when these assassins struck?
I see you have been listening to my son's conspiracy theories again. He talks of peace and uniting the houses, yet here he is, with a blade in his hand, looking for glory. I told you I wanted nothing to do with this.
While you were here at the tournament, assassins moved against Lady Sorella at her own estate. If we hadn't tracked down this agent and disarmed his explosive, she would be dead as well. At every step, we have encountered Klingons, hiding in the shadows, with blades at our backs.
I have not seen this evidence, but I believe what you say. We will get to the bottom of this. That does not mean we can act rashly. If there were Klingons aiding these agents, then we are still in danger.
Agreed. One of the great houses is here backing the Romulans, and they will try to escape before their role in this plot is revealed. One of the Klingons we killed on the way here was wearing a tournament sash. We should check the training rooms of each house. We must uncover the Klingon collaborators who helped Tarson kill Maven. Tarson...
I was just thinking of that. We cannot always see what the future will bring.
That is why we cannot give up on peace, even if some of us cannot see a way to that future.
The great houses will never find peace. They see it as a sign of weakness.
I will not abandon my beliefs, Father. We cannot live in fear that the future will never change.
It is good to know that you remember some of the things I have taught you.
This equipment appears to have been custom-made for their warriors. I hope the Empire's coffers didn't pay for this. The batleths of the House of Kanja have elaborate targ skin grips, but otherwise appear to be normal. I see no evidence here that would link them to the assassins. Ever since Urapenthe, I have been suspicious of the House of Torg. And now it appears they were preparing to leave the tournament early. Look at this state of disarray. We must look for evidence that may link them to the Romulan assassins. These are Romulan weapons. It appears that your suspicions have been correct. It must be the House of Torg. We must confiscate...
Sorella and the rest of the House of Martok will mourn for her grandson. But I must also see that security remains a priority. To start, I am sending you a recruit from our house, the warrior Belera. She's been personally trained by me and will aid your crew as we fight against the House of Torg.
Congratulations, Lieutenant Commander.
So, it was the House of Torg all along. I had my suspicions when I first arrived on Urapenthe and spoke with the Warden. No wonder they made such an effort to chase us down before we could escape. They have been feuding with Martok for some time, but to collaborate with the Tal Shiar? It's unthinkable.
The idea that one of the great houses is conspiring with Romulans to attack the House of Martok is troublesome. Come to the Kether Lowlands. Worf and I would be honored if you would participate in Mevin's Hegte. Once we have put our family matters to rest, you may work with Worf and Kimtar to determine our plan of attack. Serve the Empire. Thank you for returning my grandson and for aiding my family. We have had many visitors today to honor Maben's life. You have arrived in time for the next ritual. Maben was very traditional, and Worf has suggested that we perform an achvoch in his honor. Together, we will follow our ancient traditions by watching over Maben until his spirit is ready for the journey to Stovokor. The House of Martok would be honored if you would agree to join us for this rite.
In the flash, before the night, you heard the call of Stovokor. The warriors singing, cry out your name. Welcome home. Welcome home. Let not your heart be filled with fear. The spirit soars on honor's wings. Your heart is singing. You found your way. Welcome home. Welcome home. Thank you for participating in the Akvo. It is important that we remember our traditions. Together, We have kept away the predators that would take Meven's body before his spirit was ready to leave for Sto-vo-kor. Now he may seek the fellowship of Martok and continue the warrior's journey.
Pardon my interruption, Gintok. We have an urgent security matter. House of Torg warriors were seen gathering in the first city. We have word they are planning an assault, and will be here any moment.
Send an alert to everyone on the estate. I will see to Lady Sorella. Prepare your men. We will not let these dogs catch us by surprise. Here they come. Show them no mercy. More enemies approach.
From the House of Torg have tried to again spill the blood of my house.
After everything you have done on behalf of the House of Martok, I ask that you see this campaign to its conclusion. The House of Torg must not be allowed to survive this day. The House of Torg's main base is located in the Gorath system. I will prepare our fleet, and we will attack while we have the advantage. Take Alexander with you, and he will ensure your ship is recognized as an ally by our fleet. Torg will soon discover that the House of Martok is stronger than he was led to believe. Make contact with the fleet when you enter the Gorath system to receive...
We've arrived in the Gorath system. Our transponder signal has been linked to the Martok fleet commander, and we're receiving battle instructions. The IKS Mudge will follow us. Our task is to destroy hard assets that Torg could use to mount a counterattack.
To battle!
under attack.
council so that we may uncover the depths of his house's treasure. the stronghold of the House of Torg. We know that Torg has colluded with the Tal Shiar. Now he's an animal trapped in his own den, which makes him even more dangerous. Torg will be easier to deal with if we can first find and defeat his son, Segen. Segen's quarters are up ahead. Segen is the son of Torg and a mindless follower. He will have supported his father in everything, even treason. Torg severed Martok's bloodline when he killed Maven. Now, with Segen's death, the two houses are forever bound in grief. As we seek Torg, we must keep an eye out for further evidence of his betrayal. We can use what we find when we bring him before the Council. series of log entries here detailing the communications between Torg and the Tal Shiar regarding the destruction of House Martok. This is damning, but it's not enough to convince the High Council that Torg was collaborating against the Empire. We should continue looking for evidence of Torg's treachery. These are Romulan shipping containers, but they're filled with Klingon weapons and technology. These crates are similar to those we found in the Vor system. According to the shipping manifests, they're scheduled to be transferred to a freighter with a destination somewhere within Romulan space. This evidence connects Torg directly to the information we received from the Romulan Republic captain. Torg is collaborating with the Tal Shiar on a plot that clearly extends beyond a feud between houses.
That is far enough, you filthy patach! Did you think that you could walk into my home, kill my son, and live to tell about it? Jimpok will give my house the honor it deserves when we put your heads on display in the Great Hall!
Your corruption is poison. You talk of vengeance, but have no comprehension of honor. You see power, yet trade it to our enemies for personal gain. And you rule a great house, yet have no understanding of what makes our people great.
Don't talk to me of our people. It is because of half-breeds like Alexander that our people have grown weak. The fact that Martok accepted him into his family is reason enough for me to destroy his house. You have no idea what the future holds for our people. If you knew what the Romulans have told me, you would beg to join us.
The Klingon Empire's path to survival is through peace, not war. The great Chancellor Gorkon knew that we must brave the future together, united as one people. This feud will go on forever, and our houses will be diminished unless we put an end to it.
You dare insult me with words of peace as you stand there with the blood of my son on your hands? You talk of survival and know nothing of what is to come. I showed you mercy when I had you thrown into Rurapinte. You're not even worthy of an honorable death. But now, I will teach you what it means to die at the hands of a Klingon! Take care of these Pachak and bring me Alexander. I will listen.
Torg thinks he's escaped, but we can make sure that he has nowhere to run. We must take the evidence we've collected to the High Council on Kronos and expose the deeds of Torg and his house.
The remainder of our fleet has assembled in the system. The House of Torg has called in Romulan reinforcements. If we stick to our offensive strategy, we will prevail. Form up behind the IKS Tide, and we will teach these fools how to fight ship to ship. Greetings. How may I assist you? Fight with honor. The evidence that you prepared was sent to the Chancellor's aides. They have also informed me that Torg has arrived on Kronos and intends to challenge our claims. He will... It is time. We must confront Torg. Tell me when you are ready.
Worf, son of Moog, you have called this council to accuse the House of Torg with treason. Are you prepared to show evidence in support of this claim?
I am Worf, son of Moog, Gintok to the House of Martok, and I accuse House Torg of crimes against the Empire. The House of Martok will show evidence that Torg, son of Cormog, has committed acts of treason by collaborating with our known enemy, the Romulan Star Empire.
Torg, son of Cormog, you stand accused of treason. Do you deny these claims?
I do, and I invoke my right to challenge these false claims. I will not stand by and let the House of Martok spread more lies and deceit to this council. Let it also be known that since the half-breed Alexander has killed my only heir, I present Roken as my Chadich.
The Council recognizes Roken of House Torg as the Chadich. House Torg has challenged the claim. We will proceed with the Mekba. Worf, present your evidence. And since you and your son are both diplomats, I recommend you get to the point before I lose my patience.
This brave warrior, together with my son Alexander, uncovered a plot by the House of Torg to transfer weapons and classified technology to our enemies in the Romulan Star Empire. We have presented to the Chancellor's aides physical evidence and computer logs that will trace stolen weapons from the exchange through the House of Torg to agents within the Tal Shiar. The Empire's allies in the Romulan Republic have confirmed the evidence, and their testimony will show that Torg was colluding with the Tal Shiar to overthrow one of the great houses. This is treason, and it is a poison striking at the very heart of our empire.
This dishonorable ragtag would say anything to hide the weakness and decay in his own house. The only traitors in this hall are Worf and his human son. We seek to rid the Empire of this weakness, and yet here we stand, falsely accused by a desperate Jintak of a desperate house.
It is the right of House Martok to declare vengeance, and I will not deny any of the great houses a chance to bring their claims before this council. We will respect those who honorably uphold our values with words of truth. Alexander, son of Worf, you are a fugitive before this council. What truth will we hear from the mouth of an escaped criminal?
My incarceration is yet another plot by the House of Torg to silence those who would uncover their treachery. This warrior will confirm that Kratok of House Torg, Warden of Ura Penthe, was being paid to hold me on false charges. The evidence is clear. Torg has formed an alliance with the Tal Shiar and seeks to undermine our empire through subversion and acts of dishonor. We cannot find strength together as one people when leaders like Torg seek to consolidate power through deception and evil acts. Our empire is stronger when we fight together. Torg would rather send Romulan assassins to dispose of those who don't support his personal agenda. There is no honor left in his house.
You seek truth from a fugitive whose escape was orchestrated by an undercover Federation agent? This council has gone mad! Jimpak, you must not listen to these lies. Under your leadership, we have formed an alliance with the Romulans. How are my actions treason when I simply followed your example?
Torg, do not assume that you have the skill or the reputation to challenge me in this hall, or you will find yourself dead by my own hand. The evidence is clear. Your quest for personal glory and hateful bigotry has blinded you to the difference between an enemy and an ally. You hired Tal Shiar agents to assassinate the heir to a great house of the Empire. We should kill you and be rid of your stupidity for this alone. But it is the finding of this council that your house has lost its way. Your treason has led you to lose sight of honor. The accusation stands. The judgment is discommendation. From this point forward, the House of Torg will be no more.
You have killed my son. You have stripped my house of honor. I will burn in the fires of Gretor
Father, look out!
But not before I kill you!
Ah!
Alexander!
Father, I'm sorry.
Save your strength, son. Help is coming.
I'm sorry. I'm not the warrior I should have been.
You were warrior enough to save me.
I tried to stay true to what I believe. But I've only brought shame upon you and our family.
I could never feel ashamed of you. All that matters now is that you are my son.
I tried to change our fates. I wanted you to live, to be proud of me.
You have done well, Alexander.
Am I going to die?
It will be a good death.
I never thought I would die like this.
You are a warrior.
Do you remember when Mother died?
How could I forget?
Look at me. Look at your son's face. And remember. Always remember.
This tragedy will not be forgotten. I want to thank you for rescuing my son from Urapente and allowing him to die with honor. You have done much for the House of Martok, but we have also lost much. Perhaps, but the pain will remain. Alexander never realized that he truly was Kimtar, both then and now. We must remember to stay true to our beliefs. Only then can we live and die with honor. Until we meet again, warrior.
We will make sure the House of Torg is properly punished for their cowardly actions. Torg has been on the Council for many years, and I thought I knew his heart. I was wrong. I had no part in or knowledge of his acts against the House of Martok. For that, he will pay dearly. Serve the Empire well.
You have a new power that can be set up to automatically
serve
be
the
used.
Empire well.
Press the L2 button to show your powers. Use the left stick to navigate this radial menu. Navigate to brace for impact. Press the R1 button to toggle between different auto-execute settings, and change when this power